Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and happy Wednesday. We're in the mid-week, the middle of the week. That's split from the beginning, close to the end. It's day 15 of Fluid Chronicles, my Florida journey. Welcome. I got on my fatigue scarf today. I put it on this morning. I was in warring mode, battle mode. Um, it helps to lift and line up with my spirit. Had to make some important calls and address some situations today, and just wanted to put on a little arm, a little reminder that I can win the battle, that I can win the war. And so my fatigue scarf puts me in that zone. And so I had it on today. And I decided to leave it on for the viewing of the session. So I don't think I got my head tied up in the scarf for the night. It's my battle scarf. It also makes me think of, so God has many names. And one new one that I just learned this past Sunday, I was listening to a message, one of the ministers from my church, um, in the conversation they were having, it came up and it it sparked in my spirit and sent me searching. It's Jehovah Sabbath. Jehovah Sabbath. It immediately intrigued me, and I needed to get some clarity and understanding of it. And so I started searching. And Jehovah Sabbath is the God of battle, the God of war. And so that's been added to my list. I call Jehovah Sabbath. He fights my battles, he fights my wars. Thank you, Lord. I want to go to preaching. I didn't get on here to do that, but I have to acknowledge God in all things. So let me get to how we start this off. We start this off with breathing. So let's pause, take a little step back, and take some breaths. All right. So it's breathing time. I want you to breathe with me. We're with these breaths, we're giving recognition of being given a new day. We will slowly inhale and exhale on a 4 count. Here is an example that I am talking about. So when we inhale, we always inhale deep and exhale deep. Blow it out, all the air, because we're blowing out energy. We're blowing out anything that we don't want in us. Okay, and so it's a count of 4. I'm going to count for the example when we're actually going through the breaths. We're counting our heads. Okay, so here we go. Example: inhale, and exhale. So again, the example is, so we breathe in, is the inhale, count of 4, and and hold. Then the exhale, count of 4, and hold. Hold is just pausing, stopping, not moving. Just allow it to release from us of what we've taken in. Allow it to enter and be still. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Okay? Now you can close your eyes. Let's do a couple. Inhale, gentleness, and exhale, disruptions. Inhale, kindness, and exhale, weightiness. Inhale, wholeness, And exhale, brokenness. Now let's do one taking a deep breath in through the nose, hold it, and then release it out of your mouth with loud sound. Just letting it out. Hear yourself. Release it. It's a push out of energy. Okay, so inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Woo, does wonders. It does wonders. That felt good to me. I hope it felt good to you as well. Oh boy. So for my gratitude sharing today is today I am grateful for. I'm grateful for meditation time and space. I'm grateful for a personal relationship with God, knowing Him for myself, not looking for my mama's God, my brother's God, my sister's God, or praying to the God that my mother prays to, my God. I have a personal relationship. So I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for a close-knit, immediate family. Having a family support, a circle really makes a difference. Makes a difference just in everyday life, when things are hard and when things are easy. It's a beautiful thing, and it's very important to me, and it makes a difference. I'm grateful for my church family, and my church family is a part of my support system. So I'm grateful for that. I am ever thankful, full of thanks. I'm going to move to today's quote. So again, I share a daily quote, a daily claim it statement, and a scripture every day inside of the Iris' Shared Nuggets group. You can go to the Iris' Shared Nuggets group on Facebook and see all of the quotes and scriptures each day. The claim it statement is a statement to be claimed. I call it a claim statement because you're owning it, you're speaking it with conviction and believing it. A claim it statement. I claim and believe what I am saying. Okay. So the quote for the day is, anything that you want to ask a teacher, ask yourself and wait for the answer in silence. And that quote is by Byron Katie. Today's claimant statement is, today I am planting the seeds of growth in my life. I am absolutely committed to watering them every day. I'm going to say that one again. I am today planting the seeds of growth in my life. I am absolutely committed to watering it every day. That's the claimant statement. And today is Wednesday, so I want to give the added Wednesday acknowledgement, the shout out, the big up, the props. And I want to acknowledge my brother Bernard. He's family. That's fam, of course. That's my brother. We have a close-knit relationship. Anyway, he gets a special shout out today, not because he's my brother, not because he's family, but because I so appreciate the trust he's put in me. I appreciate that he recognizes and values my adventurous spirit, my ability to try new things and venture out. And he believes in the things that I do and encourages me and pushes me. But Besides that, family often are the hardest critics and the last ones to believe in you. And so that is why I appreciate it more so. And currently, he's entrusted me with his transcript. He's using my editing services. That's huge for me. I can't say I can't say he's doing it with no fear. But he's doing it nonetheless. He trusts my ability, my knowledge of it, and that I can do it. When I say there's maybe some fear, it's that this is something that's dear to his heart. It's when you're writing a book, when you're writing a play, a film, anything you're writing, it's an art. It's a work of you, from the depths of you. You birthed it. And so for someone else to critique it or evaluate it or edit it or even just read it, it takes a lot to share with that person. And then to trust someone that's also family can be doubly challenging because sometimes you can't blur those lines. But he has entrusted that in me. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful and I appreciate him for it. And even his wife supports it. And they have been appreciative and placed value in my assistance and my suggestions that I've been giving them. And so I'm thankful. And that's my Wednesday shout out and why I'm shouting him out. So let's move to the Fluid Chronicles share for today. For my share today, I want to start with a poem. So I was going through some old poems, one of my own old poem books that I put in my bag to bring because some of them will be added to my poetry book that I'm compiling. So this poem was written in the early 90s, like 1993, okay? I'm dating myself now. But in any case, I was very young. So this poem was written back in the 90s. And when I was looking at it today, it sparked some additional thought. So if I was writing it today, it may not be the same or whatever the case. I respect who I was in the time when I wrote a poem and see it for what it was or is. And so this is I want to share. It's titled How. How I walk tall and proud with my head up high looking in spirit deep, deep within. Within I'm down and feeling low in spirit and mind, my mind distraught. The feelings and thoughts just flow throughout me. I feel it all. Some hurt and some pain. I smile and laugh and talk as if it is all okay. Inside I am torn apart. Do they know how? What that poem made me think of is mask. We are currently wearing masks because of the COVID season. Let's talk about what is mask. I'm going to share the definition of mask. Same definition you can go and look up. The definition of mask is both a noun and a verb. As a noun, it means a covering for all or part of the face, worn as a disguise or to amuse or terrify other people. It also means a covering made of fiber or gauze and fitting over the nose and mouth to protect against dust or air pollutants, or made of sterilized gauze and worn to prevent infection of the wearer or in surgery of the patient. As a verb, it means cover the face with a mask. It means to conceal something from view. Now, those are the dictionary definitions. And as I said, we are currently wearing masks due to the COVID season. And a mask serves the definition purpose of protecting us from sputum and virus particles in the air, along with social distancing. Aside from that, many of us wear invisible masks, masks others can't see with the naked eye. Some we sense and recognize because they come with an energy that draws attention. These masks connect with our body language and sometimes send mixed messages. I'm talking about masks of life. We wear them to hide our true feelings, our emotions, our fears. We wear them to cover depression, loneliness, current circumstances. Sometimes we have masks on for environment, like at work, we're one way, home and with family, we're another way, with friends, we're another way, with mates in relationships, we're another way. Masks. What happens with these masks is they can get stuck. They can get stuck on us or make us dependent on them. Sometimes they're piled on top of one another, becoming layered, causing us to lose track or count. It can be confusing, causing a loss of identity. It makes one feel out. It makes one feel out of control and out of place or even imbalanced. What about these masks? One is to acknowledge it first with anything, is to acknowledge it and recognize it. We have to first identify those masks. And yes, that's easier said than done. But we have to be truthful with ourselves and look within and ask that question: who am I really? Who is the real me? Am I wearing a mask? Why? What purpose does it serve for me? Have I forgotten how to take it off? Have I forgotten how to function without it? Do I need it? Is it a crutch? Is it a crutch mask? Crutch mask. That's deep. That wasn't in my notes. I know this is kind of heavy, so but there are all kind of masks, and just to lighten it a little bit, an example is we might not even see it as a mask, but it is. Anytime we're changing ourselves or our appearance or sound to fit in or be accepted, it's a mask. Here's, on a lighter note, code switching. So one form of code switching is our voice, our speech. We sometimes talk one way for work, another way with family, and yet another way with our friends. Getting stuck in one can be detrimental in another. Why I thought about that one is because I've had people say to me, If they call me at work, they don't recognize that it's me, or they'll say, Iris, why are you talking like that? I've had that happen to me so many times over the years. It's my professional voice, we code switch. We switch up. Sometimes it's unintentional, or it's just what it is. It's the environment. We're adjusting to the environment. Dress and appearance. Dress for the corporate job, or dressing down for the area we don't feel so comfortable being in. And I'm not downing any of this. I'm talking about when we get stuck or lost in those roles. When we forget how to separate it as a role we step in and out of. Yeah, let it serve its purpose, but know when to let out. Let our hair down again. Let our hair back down. For some of us, it's autopilot. It's just autopilot. Walk in that office and it comes on. Walk out, take it off. But for some of us, we get stuck. We get stuck. It's something to keep track of. It's something that you have to keep track of. And it takes a lot of energy. It takes energy. It can be draining. Especially if it's in a workplace and it's a place that you don't like working in. It's really heavy. It takes a lot of energy. But in those cases, you're usually able to take it off when you get home. Hopefully, take that mask off, take that energy off, and just leave it. But next day, you got to go back in it. So it can be challenging. But these are the things that I was thinking about. So everyone needs that place. Everyone needs that place you can be all you with no consequences. It should be in the comfort of your home or in the comfort of your friend circle. We need to take off the mask to breathe, to really exhale and free ourselves of the day-to-day. That could just be the thin line between sanity and insanity. And we all know what insanity is. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And how did I get on this rant? Well, the poem I shared at the beginning made me think about wearing masks. And that's how I got on this rant and went down this rabbit hole. Thank you for going with me. But let me share some words. Some of the other words that came up in relation to mask when I looked up the word. And then I'll leave it alone, then I'll let it go. So some of the other words that came up with that was, for mask, is disguise, veil, false face, domino, stocking mask, fancy dress, visor or visored, matte, photo mask, shadow mask, masking, masking tape, to hide, to conceal, to disguise, to cover up, to obscure, to screen, to cloak, to camouflage, mantle, and blanket. And I'll leave you with those words. So when we think about mask, it's a little word, but it comes with a lot. And when we think about it as life masks that we put on for appearance or as a protective barrier from people getting to see the real us, the true us, let's be mindful of those things. Be true to self. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot easier. And that's all I have to say about that. So this has been day 15 of Fluid Chronicles, my Florida journey. I'm just sharing moments and thoughts within my day of this journey. I'm using this platform as a transparent outlet. I guess it's like my verbal journal. I'm grateful for this space to release a little through it. And I'm glad you're on this ride with me. So thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. Continue with me. Let's see together what comes up next. Look for me on podcasts on Spotify, Anchor, and your choice of podcast source. Just look up Iris's Shared Nuggets or drop a nugget. Look for me on Iris's Shared Nuggets group and Queen Iris Writers Corner on Facebook. Also find me at Queen Irie on other media sources. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and one love.